Hello everyone, and welcome to another video for VCP 5.5 install, configure and manage. This is video number 7. It's regarding networking, virtual networking in VMware. So in this video I'm going to go over some basic concepts, networking concepts, and we'll be connecting to doing some network configuration from vSphere client, and then we'll be doing a small lab in which simulates the DMZ from virtual switches, implementing DMZ from virtual switches, and then virtual network configuration through vCenter. Now in this image, this is these are quick concepts based on VMware networking, especially vSphere 5.5, in which we can see these are VMs, and these VMs have one network card, and this VM has one network card, and both of the network cards are connected to the virtual switch, and this blue this is a virtual switch. So you have virtual switch number 1, you have virtual switch number 2, and then these virtual switches are connected to physical adapters, and physical adapters act as a uplink to a local network. So local network, uplink, virtual switch, virtual network cards that are connected to VMs. Now virtual networking as compared to physical networking can be seen here. In physical networks we have physical servers, physical switches, and they are connected through connected within the network, whereas in virtual network each ESXi host has its own virtual switch inside that is connected to uplinks, and then each VM has its own virtual link that connects to the virtual switch. From virtual switch they are connected to uplinks, and from uplinks then they are connected to real switches, physical switches outside. Now again in this video I'm gonna show you that how to configure this network, in which we're gonna create 3 switches, switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, and we're gonna create 4 VMs. VM number 1 will act as one part of the firewall, whereas the second one, VM number 4, acts as a firewall as well, and in between there is a web server and application server. Now the main objective within this lab will be just to see how to configure virtual switches and how to attach VMs with multiple cards or single card to different switches, and how switches are connected to uplinks. Now with this, let's start our lab. So first of all, same environment, I have a vCenter server, then I have ESXi 1, ESXi 2, and ESXi 3. ESXi 3 is sitting on IP address 192.168.100.70, whereas 2 is 60 and the first one is 50. Now if I go to my vCenter, where my vCenter is installed in our previous labs, now first of all let's try to connect to our ESXi 3 through our legacy vSphere client, and all we need to do is type in the password, type in the IP address, and then root account, and then our password. It will connect, ignore us. Now, so first of all we'll be connecting to ESXi host directly, and later on we'll be adding this host directly to vCenter, and then we'll be doing those settings. So 100.70, if I go to configuration, within configuration 2 settings that are related to the networking are networking and network adapters. Network adapter clearly shows it has only one adapter, network adapter, physical adapter. If I go on to ESXi 3, it shows me only one adapter here. Now if we need more adapters, we would need to physically add the adapters to this ESXi host, and then add and then we're gonna find the adapter here, then we can add the adapter. For now, since we have only one adapter, that adapter is used within the networking. Now within networking, we already know that each ESXi host automatically comes with a virtual switch, which is the name of the virtual switch is vSwitch0. vSwitch0 has two port groups, one VM port group, second one is management port group. We can see the properties. Now this switch is only connected to one network card. Why? Because we have only one network adapter. Now first of all, let's try to, so this is our network, vSwitch0, one port group just for VM, the other port group for VM kernel. Since there are no VMs, we don't see any VMs within the VM port group, and VM kernel management port is that has the IP address, and this is our uplink, which is a physical card connected to ESXi host. So our very first exercise is how to add a new physical network card to ESXi host. Let's do it. So we'll go into this host. In real environment, you would need to add a physical card. In virtual environment, all I need to do is to go to settings, and within settings I would go add, and then within add I would select a new network card. Now it can be connected to any network, preferably it should be connected to the same network as my other network card. My other network card is NAT, this one is NAT as well. So this card is added. Now first of all, let's make sure that this card is added properly. We'll go into the properties of this ESXi host. As we know, in order to go to the properties, we need to press F2. If I press F2, it will ask me for username and password. As soon as you enter your username and password, it connects to your ESXi DCUI mode. Now within DCUI mode, we can do some configuration. I'll go into configure management network. What I'm more interested to see is how many adapters are there. So it is showing me one adapter for now, because whenever we add an adapter to ESXi host, it has to be restarted. So this is what I wanted to show. So what we do is we'll cancel out from here, and then in order to restart, restart needs to be done by pressing F12. So I'm gonna press F12, and it will again ask me for username and password, and restart by pressing F11. So while it restarts, let me go back to my vCenter. Now this is, since it will restart, it will be disconnected temporarily. As soon as it will be connected again, as soon as it comes back again, then we'll reconnect and complete our configuration. In the meantime, let me connect to vCenter. Let me connect to a vCenter. So this is my vCenter on this server. In order to connect to a vCenter, I need to connect to a web client. Through a web client, I'll be logging in as administrator, and within administrator, vSphere.local, and password. Now this will log me into the vCenter. Administrator. Okay, yes, I missed S. So one more time, let's log in. In the meantime, let me look at it. Our ESXi 3 is still starting up. In vCenter, it is connecting. In vCenter, I have, it's just a little bit different interface. I can go into hosts and clusters. Within host and cluster, I have two ESXi hosts, ESXi host 1 and 2. Third one is not yet added because I wanted to show you guys the networking from legacy client, and then now we'll see the networking within the vCenter. Now vCenter, I'll connect to one of the ESXi host. Now within this ESXi host, we go to manage and networking. Networking in a new web client is a bit different. Here it is kind of more managed. So as we can see, I can let me switch this off. So here I can see virtual switches, same vSwitch switch 0 that I was that I can see. So this one is disconnected. Why? Because it was so close. It was restarting. It is still restarting. Now here it shows me vSwitch 0, VM kernel adapter. These are the VM kernel ports that are on this vSwitch 0, and physical adapter are the physical network cards that it has. So this machine, which is ESXi2, it has 2 network cards. Let's make sure if I go to 2, I can see 2 network cards on this. This is why in vCenter it is showing me 2 network cards. As you can see, there is a slight difference between how legacy client shows the networking and how web client shows the networking. So we should be familiar with both of the both type of settings. So ESXi, manage, networking, virtual switches shows me virtual switches. This is the same kind of view, same vSwitch 0, 1 network card is attached to the switch, and then it has 1 port group, which is VM network port group 2, then VM network port group 1, and it has a management port group. So in this case it has 3 port groups within 1 switch. There are 2 network cards. Since I can see only 1 network card with this switch, it means the second network card is not even used with vSwitch 0, which is just lying vacant. So this server is restarted. Let me go back, start my legacy client one more time and try to connect. So how do I connect? Root. It is connecting again. Now this time, so all we did was added a second network card. I can see both network cards green here, and if I can log into the server, and now going to configure management network, or say hold on, not restart but configure network adapters. Now I can see 2 network adapters. Both network adapters are connected, and here let me go into configuration and networking and network adapters. I can see now 2 network adapters, but as you can see, 0 is connected to vSwitch 0 but 1 is not connected anywhere. Let's connect this network card to vSwitch 0. In order to, as we can see, there is only 1 network card. We're going to add the second newly added network card to this switch for fault tolerance, for high availability, for load balancing. How do we do that? We need to do properties. Within properties, I'll go to network adapters and add network adapters. It will show me the only 1 network adapter, and next, finish. So now I have 2 network adapters connected to this switch. So this will act as load balance. It will give a double bandwidth as well, and fault tolerance. If one is not working, second one is connected. So this is how we can work with networking. Very simple concepts. Networking, network adapters. I would suggest all of the students to do this exercise, adding a network card, then adding it into a switch and making it fault tolerant within the switch. So in this video we have seen networking from vSphere client perspective and networking from vCenter. Within vCenter it is slightly different. Let me make 2 screens here. This is legacy client, and legacy we need to go to configuration networking and network adapter, whereas here it is all under one roof. just under networking, and everything related to network is right here. Now, so at this I'll just stop this video, and I'll create another video for creating the second lab, the lab with the DMZ simulation through virtual switches. Thank you for watching this video, and see you guys in the next video.